Hi, I'm Dr. Sulata Shenoy, Psychologist and Director, Turning Point, Center for Psychological Assessments, Therapies and Counseling, Jayanagar, Bengaluru. Technology is both a boon and a bane. And particularly in recent times, we have seen that we as adults are increasingly dependent on technology, our smartphones, our laptops, and anything and everything is we are dependent completely on gadgets. We cannot imagine living in a world where we are cut off from these so-called conveniences of modern life. And children have been increasingly found to adapt to this technology much better than adults. Their young brains probably finding it easier to handle the intricacies of technology, which would be very daunting task for the older generation. So they are constantly getting addicted in larger and larger numbers. So the number one danger of excessive usage is that there is a physical as well as a psychological dependence on mobile phone or phone usage or internet usage. So one of the things that doctors have warned us from the beginning is that this is a relatively new technology. None of us know how this will impact in the long run. We do not know how a child is going to turn out when the brain is constantly bombarded for hours on end in a day with virtual messages or virtual images. So the radiation from this technology apart, there is lot of content that we need to be worried about. This is not to say that we should ban children from this convenience or this technology altogether, because there are a lot of good things, there are a lot of advantages, and a lot of us are finding it very useful, especially in times of the pandemic and post-pandemic era. Probably this would be continuing. So what are the ways in which we can see how the child is getting addicted, take steps at the right time? One of the things is that if you are finding your child is increasingly asking for gadgets, is increasingly getting irritated without having a gadget, or sometimes becoming aggressive and insistent or shouting, crying and forcing his or her way to have a gadget, then you need to seriously think whether this child is on the way for addiction of mobile phone or gadgets. And the child may also seem to be withdrawn socially, not interested in any other previously enjoyed activities, wanting to stay by himself or herself, withdrawing from family, friends. And now because of the pandemic, this has become almost like every child is having only the mobile phone at his disposal for entertainment, for education and for practically all purposes in life. So we need to see that the child doesn't become overly dependent. So once you recognize these signs, then you need to know what is it that we can do. And the earlier we set things right, it's always better than regretting later. So one of the things is that you could model your own life around having no gadget time for a part of the day. Nowadays what we see, parents are always on the phone or always at work or always on social media from morning till night, and the phone seems to be a very necessary and a part of themselves. It's almost like an appendage of the person. So children see that, they think that this is acceptable. So play with the child normal fun games, ball, board games, carom, chess, all those things which earlier generations used to enjoy as a family. And secondly, also encourage the child to go outside, outdoors, wherever it's safe, play games, stretch his legs, do some physical exercises, and you'll find that the child would be slowly coming out of the attraction or the preference for gadgets in terms of getting back into a real life rather than having only the virtual life.